In this video, I'm going to show you how to fix shoulder pain for good at home. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Dr. Rowe from SpineCare in St. Joseph, Michigan. So if you're dealing with a lot of achy shoulder pain and need a quick fix, this is a video that you're not going to want to miss. I'm going to show you safe, effective, at-home stretches and exercises that can give quick shoulder pain relief, even as little as 30 seconds. The only special piece of equipment I'm going to be using is an everyday racquetball. I got this locally at a sporting goods department for about $1. You can also get them online, such as at Amazon. But I'm going to break this up into 3 simple, easy parts. The first part is going to focus on just getting everything loosened up, the muscle, the soft tissue, muscle knots, anything like that. With the second part, we're going to focus on putting more range of motion into the shoulder, a lot more mobility to get it moving a lot more freely. And in the third part, we're going to focus on strengthening exercises for the shoulder capsule, the shoulder joint, and the rotator cuffs to hopefully get rid of shoulder pain for good. So let's get started and get the shoulder feeling better right now. So in the first part, we're going to focus on muscle knots, spasms, trigger points around the shoulder. And I'm going to go over different muscle groups that are commonly associated with shoulder pain. I'm going to be using my racquetball for this. If you do not have a racquetball, you can substitute a tennis ball or just roll up a sock with tape so it's nice and firm. We want to go next to a square corner. I'm going to be using a door frame. A wall also works. The first muscle we're going to target is the trapezius. That is the muscle right here on the top of the shoulder that goes from the shoulder to the neck. It lifts the shoulder up. I'm going to take my racquetball and I'm going to place it over the muscle, that meaty portion right at the top of the shoulder. Let's lay on our back like this and go next to that square corner. Take your body weight and slide upwards into that corner until you feel a lot of pressure being placed over the achy spot in that muscle, only to your comfort level. When you do this, you should already start to feel a self-massage into that area. From there, what you can do is you can roll your shoulder like this, just to target it a little bit more for 10-15 seconds, and you can do a couple repetitions. But this is how we're really going to activate that muscle. Let's take our arm up like this and then lower it very slowly down towards the door while we put a lot of pressure with our body weight into that racquetball. When you do this, it's really going to activate that muscle, so go very slowly with it. I like to do 10 complete repetitions of this, doing it very slowly. From there, I'm going to go to the side, lower my arm all the way down, and then I'm going to go all the way over my body as much as I can, very slowly for 10 complete repetitions. From there, I am then going to do a nice circular motion with my arm like this, again for 10 repetitions, just doing it very, very slowly. If you still feel like there's a lot going on and it's not releasing, this is how we can take this to the next level. Let's take our hand on the opposite side, and I'm going to grab on the part of the head that is facing towards that door frame or the wall. Let's then take the ear on the opposite side, so my right ear is going towards my right shoulder, and I'm bending it over like this. When you do this, it's really going to activate that trapezius muscle, so only again go to your comfort level. Try to hold this for about 10 to 15 seconds. You're just going to relax. Try to put a little bit more pressure in it by pressing into the racquetball, and then repeat this up to 5 times. Then from there, you can switch the racquetball over different spots as needed, but you're also going to want to do this on the other side, even if it's not hurting, to keep everything in balance. So another spot that a lot of people have shoulder pain is in the front. This is how we can target that. Let's go back to that square corner. I'm going to take my racquetball and I'm going to place it around shoulder height. From there, I'm going to stabilize it with the hand on the opposite side so this does not move. I'm going to take that shoulder right at the front and place it right over the racquetball, use my body weight to press into it so we have a nice self-massage already starting. From there, I'm going to bend my elbow at 90 degrees. My arm is going to be parallel with the floor. I'm going to then straighten my elbow, straighten that arm, reach out forward as much as we can. When we do this, it's going to activate that shoulder and really start to give us a nice self-massage, hopefully giving us a nice self-release. Do nice, slow, controlled movements of going forward and then backwards like this. 10 repetitions only to your comfort level. From there, what we can do is go back to that starting position, but just raise the arm up like this and then lower it while we're pressing into that racquetball with our body weight. 10 repetitions again with this. From there, switch to different spots as needed, and also try to focus on that other shoulder too to keep it in balance. Next, let's focus on a big one, the rotator cuffs. For this one, we're going to lay flat on the floor. I'm going to take my racquetball and place it over an area that is in the vicinity of what is known as the supraspinatus. How to find this muscle? What we're going to do is we're going to take 2 fingers and we're going to feel just around the shoulder blade area. Let's take our arm, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and slide it across the lower part of the back like this. You should feel a bony ridge. What we want to do is go just a little bit above that bony ridge and press into that muscle. It should be very sensitive. And at that point, we know we're in the right vicinity, and that's going to be the contact point for our ball. So starting off on the floor, what I'm going to do is just place the ball over that area, and I'm going to then just go into a bridge-like exercise. That is lifting the butt up like this to the point where my knees, my hips, and my shoulders are in a nice straight line. This is going to drive our upper body weight into that ball and already start to do a self-massage into that rotator cuff area. Only go to your comfort level. This is how we're going to activate it to take this exercise to the next level. I'm going to take the arm that is on the side of the racquetball, and I'm going to slide it behind my back. And when I do this, I'm going to take the other arm, grab at the wrist, and pull it over into a passive stretch to get an even more intense release into that area. So watch how I do this. I'm going to take that arm, I'm going to slide it behind me as much as I can. I'm going to take the other arm and then pull it even further. When you do this, it should feel like a great self-massage, self-release into that soft tissue. Only go to your comfort level. Hold this for about 15 seconds. You're just going to relax, and then from there, repeat this up to 5 times. You can then switch the racquetball over different spots in that area to target as needed, and then show the other shoulder some love by doing it too. So in the second part of how to fix your shoulder pain for good, we're going to focus on range of motion, building more mobility into the shoulder. And I think one of the easiest and most fun ways to be able to do that is with a ball catch using a racquetball. Again, if you don't have one, use a tennis ball or just a rubber ball that bounces. Let's take the arm out like this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just simply catch the ball like this. This puts a lot of range of motion into the shoulder and also helps build a lot of coordination. So what I'm going to do is just do that for a couple repetitions. I'm going to then go a little bit further in front of me and do the same thing. But I want to do this for a complete arc, a complete and full range of motion into the shoulder. So I'm going from one side all the way to the other. And you just want to do this just a couple times. Just really focus on one area too that you might feel is a little bit more difficult, because that way you're going to challenge yourself and at that point help the shoulder out just a little bit more. So here is a great shoulder mobility exercise that you can do in bed or on the floor. It's known as the prone swimmer. It's great because it goes through so many different motions of the shoulder and will help identify weakness very quickly. Let's start by taking a rolled up towel, placing it at the edge of a bed or on the floor. And I'm just going to start off on my stomach with my forehead placed on the towel for extra support and comfort. Let's straighten the arms at the elbow to the point where our hands are able to clap just like this. The movement is very simple. We're going to keep the arms straight. We're going to take them off to the side, and then from there rotate at the shoulder to the point where our palms are facing towards the ceiling, and then we're just going to rest them, or I should say the hands, at the small of the lower back for about a second. From there, just go in reverse to the starting point. You want to do this in nice, slow, fluid, controlled motions. You might notice that one side is a little bit more difficult. Maybe you have an area of weakness with a certain movement. Really focus on that. Challenge yourself to work on that to make it more even. But with this one, you want to do this for 10 complete repetitions. From there, take a breather and then repeat 3 times. So without a doubt, if we're looking to get rid of shoulder pain for good, we have to strengthen it. So we need to really get in there and work that shoulder joint or capsule. Here's one of my personal favorite ways to be able to do that, because it goes through so many different motions. You can do this one in bed or on the floor. I'm going to start off by taking a small rolled up towel, placing it at the edge of the bed. My forehead is going to be resting on this towel for extra support and comfort. The movement is very simple. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my palms face up towards the ceiling and just overlap them over the small of the lower back. From there, I want to raise my elbows up towards the ceiling, so we're kind of winging them. You should feel the chest in the front start to activate. Really a good stretch, but also we should feel the shoulder blades in the back start to pinch together. Try to take the elbows up as much as you can to your comfort level only. Hold this for about 3 seconds. Next, what I'm going to do is straighten the elbows out like this to where my palms are still facing towards the ceiling, and they're going to be at about 45 degrees out. And I'm going to hold this
lifting my elbows up as much as I can for about 3 seconds. The second part, I'm going to rotate at the elbows and then place my arms about 45 degrees in front of me. My thumbs are going to be facing upwards. Let's raise the elbows up even a little bit more. Really challenge yourself. You should feel the muscles really firing in and around the shoulders at this point. From there, what I'm going to do is place my hands on the back of my head like this and really wing my elbows backwards again, activating those muscles into the chest, the upper back, and around the shoulders. Try to hold this for 3 seconds. But when you do this, really challenge yourself to try to bring the elbows up as much as you can and keep this motion as fluid as possible. You want to do 5 complete repetitions, take a breather, and then from there, do 5 complete sets.
So this next shoulder exercise is great because it's not only going to focus on strengthening everything, but also to help build coordination. It's known as a shoulder hurdle, and all we need are 2 household objects of equal height. I'm going to be using my trusty soup cans, but you can also use water bottles. Let's start off on the floor. I'm going to place the soup cans just a little bit more than shoulder width apart. And then I'm also going to just put my head down on the floor just like this. Arms are going to go straight off to the side, to the outside of those cans, thumbs up towards the ceiling. The focus on this is to lift the arms up over the soup cans while keeping our chest flat as possible in a nice fluid motion just like this. Really challenge yourself to lift the elbows, those hands up as much as you can while keeping the chest flat. But you want to try to do this right here for about 10 to 12 repetitions. And to make it harder, just find taller objects. So for the second part of our shoulder hurdles, we're going to use 3 objects, the middle one being a little bit taller just to make this more challenging. And what I'm going to do, start off on my stomach again. Let's take the hand on the opposite side, place it down, and then place our forehead against that for extra comfort. Let's stretch the arm out straight on the side that's facing those objects. And what I'm going to do, just palm side down, is lift the arm up over the first object to clear it. And then I'm going to go over the next one, and then just in a nice slow controlled manner go over the last one, and then from there we're going to go in reverse and come back. Why I like this so much is because it hits the shoulder in so many different motions. It's really dynamic, but you want to focus on nice fluid motions and really concentrate on the areas that you're having a little bit more difficulty. Maybe it's in the middle right here, so do a little bit more repetitions in there to focus on that. But you want to do this for 10 complete repetitions, really challenging yourself. And then from there, if you need to make it harder, just find taller objects. If you liked the video and got a lot of relief, please show us your support by giving this video a like and maybe subscribing to our channel too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you for watching.